What is the most useless enchantment in Minecraft? When we ask that question, one answer usually stands out: Bane of Arthropods. But why this one specifically? Let's try and find out why this enchantment is so disliked, and then work out how we could improve it. First, let's look at what that enchantment does and the mobs that it affects. The enchantment deals increased damage and inflicts the slowness effect to mobs of the arthropod category, which comprises 5 mobs: the spider, the cave spider, the silverfish, the endermite, and the bee. Although we will remove bees from consideration because they are not dangerous and there is no point in actually killing them. This leaves us with 4 hostile arthropods. The one with the most hit points is the spider with 16, which in itself is already pretty low. A diamond sword or even an iron sword with Bane of Arthropods 4 will deal enough damage to kill it in one regular hit. That means that the slowness effect will not even affect it. Arthropods can still be dangerous and annoying mobs, but the danger that they represent is not just based around them taking long to kill, them taking multiple hits to kill. The danger with those mobs is that they are fast, and most of them, excluding the regular spider, are very small targets. And I think that the effect of Bane of Arthropods should focus on those characteristics. So my first suggestion to improve that enchantment would be to reduce or even entirely remove that overkill damage increase, and instead have that enchantment enlarge their hitbox, making it easier to actually hit them. However, this improvement would still not make this enchantment that useful. To understand why, let's look at other similar enchantments: Sharpness, Smite, and Impaling. Sharpness is a great all-around choice. You can use it either when you are fighting various mobs of different categories or mobs that are not part of any categories. For example, when you're exploring caves or raiding a woodland mansion. Smite is a good pick for specific situations, where you're expecting to fight mostly undeads or when they are the biggest threat. When you're exploring the Nether, for example, you can end up accidentally fighting hordes of zombie pigmen, or when you choose to fight a wither, dealing as much damage as you can will help you take it down fast. Only tridents can have impaling, but it's good against underwater mobs, so you can use it, for example, to clear out ocean monuments. But there are no such circumstances that justify choosing Bane of Arthropods for your weapon. There are no situations where you can expect to fight almost exclusively mobs of that category, and no arthropod is dangerous enough to justify specializing all your attacks against them. So here's my solution. What if we included another mob in that category? One that does kind of look like some already existing arthropods, one that has some interesting mechanics, that is tricky to beat, that you only meet in a specific area. What about the shulker? They kind of look like barnacles, a real-life arthropod, and the effects of the enchantment could apply to make them a bit easier to fight against. One thing we would have to adjust, however, is the fact that they are actually immune to slowness. That immunity makes sense in the fact that they do not move, as in change their location in a continuous manner, but that does not mean that they do not move in any way. What if slowness made them stay open for longer? That could make them more vulnerable once you land a hit, making them easier to kill. And what about their teleportation? What if they could not teleport when slowed, or slowness reduced their teleportation range? That would make them a lot easier to find once they've disappeared. If we take into consideration my previous suggestion to increase the size of their hitbox when using Bane of Arthropods, that could also be useful when you get hit by one of their projectiles and start floating away. Not having full control of your movements makes mobs a bit harder to hit, which could be compensated by a larger hitbox. So these are my suggestions to make Bane of Arthropods a more interesting and useful enchantment. If you disagree with my suggestions, or if you have other suggestions of your own on how to improve Bane of Arthropods, please write them down in the comments below. I'm always interested in knowing your point of view. If you have other Minecraft topics or improvements that you would like me to discuss, write them down there as well, and maybe I'll discuss them in the future. I would also like to thank Duds Versus and Bank Ardapple, who host the Withering Effect podcast. It's one of their episodes that inspired me to make this video, so none of that would have happened without them. So if you don't know them already, you should really go and check them out. There's a link in the description right now. You should check it. So that's gonna be it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching and have a good day.